All right, let's get started. So welcome everybody to the Crafting a Unique Career in Minecraft panel. We've got several distinguished panelists here who've created a unique career for themselves, mostly influenced by some of the things that they've done in Minecraft. So today we'll be talking about, what they've done, who they are, and how they kind of spun Minecraft into a career of sorts. So I think first off, I'll just go down the line and let everybody introduce themselves briefly. We're going to talk about a few things, and then we're going to open it up to audience questions. So, as you're going through, start thinking about some audience questions, and at some point soon, I'll have you line up at the 2 microphones here and let you guys throw some questions this way. Cool? All right, let's get started. Who are you?
Hi, I'm Prof Mobius, and I'm a game developer.
Hi, I'm Razzleberry Fox, or Raz, and I'm a 3D modeler.
Hi, I am Kojo, and I am a variety programmer. I modded, and I make websites and apps and all sorts of fun things.
I am Korosis, also known as Corden Freeman, and I'm a Minecraft modder.
And the man who needs no introduction. Apparently, because he forgot who he was.
What? No, it's just the sound that the mic made when I shifted it over.
Oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Aichun. I feel like I'm the oddest one out here because I am a med student.
It works. And he's written no mods.
I think 20 or so is not.
Just
no.
a few.
Just a few. Just a few
mods. All right, cool. So one of the first questions we'll talk about, and I'll kind of pose to all of you here, is what did you do with Minecraft? So obviously you're tied to Minecraft in some way. So why don't you start off by telling us what you've done or what you currently do in Minecraft?
So I started 5 years ago, 6 years now, I don't know. And I am one of the co-founders of MCP, which was one of the precursors of Forge. And about 2 years ago, I started modding Minecraft, and I made Wela and Jabba and a couple other mods less known.
Yep. And just to be clear, MCP is what?
MCP is a tool set to decompile Minecraft and do modification on Minecraft, recompile it, and put it back into the game. So it was one of the first modding API.
Cool. Raz?
Okay, so I make 3D models for mods, but I also mostly I work on my own mod, which is DecoCraft. It's a mod that currently adds 1,050 decorations to Minecraft for your house or build or castle or it's a lot of models. I keep getting people to ask me to add something, and I'm like, but it's already in there. But I guess there are so many things that it just got lost in there. So
Everything.
But I also make 3D models for other modders. They'll come to me and say, hey, can you make me this? Or can you redesign this for me? And I will gladly do so. And it's all his fault. He introduced me to all of these other lovely people. And that's when I started making models, and that's when I started making mods.
Cool.
All right. About 5 years ago, I started modding Minecraft, and I am well known for the Tropicraft mod, which adds a tropical dimension to the game with everything from tribes that fish and hunt to volcanoes to marlin and fishing and just a whole new dimension of awesome tropical things.
Monkeys.
Monkeys that drink pina coladas. Easter Island heads that will chase you and hunt you down and make really weird noises. A little pygmy tribe that shoots paralyzing darts and makes really scary, freaky noises at you. Lots of awesome stuff like that.
So usually I just experiment with Minecraft and just try to push the game engine as much as I can, but occasionally an actual mod comes out of it, and I made the Tornado and Weather mod, as well as worked on Tropicraft with Kojo, and I did a Call of Duty zombie mod called Zombiecraft, as well as some other AI fun little experiments like zombie awareness. It's just makes the mobs sense you a lot more if you're digging or you're bleeding and they can smell you and stuff like that. And there's a lot of other little mods that I've done. Hostile Worlds that has digging zombies that invade you and things like that. And just a lot of other physics-based experiments and stuff like that.
Giant tornadoes.
Yeah, yeah. I've been modding the game since before you could use MCP, which made everything really easy English, and just picking it apart in that crazy obfuscated code. And yeah, it's been a long journey.
Just to add to that, he is the first person I knew when I started modding, one of the few first people, and he's been around longer than I remember. So I've been told that I should list out all of my mods.
Dude, we don't have time for that. This is only an hour-long panel.
I thought you said I didn't have any.
Okay, go ahead. Quickly.
Attachable grinder, back tools, bee barker, better than bunnies, buck stabs, dash counter, ding, doors, gravity gun, guilt trip, hats, iTunes util, okay, that's not a mod. Key grip, limited lives, mob amputation, mob dismemberment, mob picture-in-picture, portal gun, shatter, streak, sink, tabula, torch, trail mix, it fell from the sky, photo rail, big grinder, and slender reimagined.
I heard portal gun.
What? Say that again?
I heard portal gun.
Yes, I did that.
Oh yeah, I remember that mod.
Portal gun, morph, you know, the thing that lets you turn into other mobs, fly like a bat, you know, not, you know, it's balanced, you know, let you fly around.
Super balanced.
Super balanced, yeah. And yeah, portal gun is my main mod. I'm hoping to get back into that. The problem is, like I said earlier, I'm a medical student, so, you know, medical students don't exactly have that much time. I don't sleep much.
Or at all.
Cool. So before we talk about how modding, you know, influenced your careers and changed the path that you were on, why don't you tell us what you were doing before you got into modding? So what were your lives like before you really got into Minecraft?
Before I started actually working on Minecraft, I used to be a university student and working on, I was doing a diploma in physics. And after that, I started modding Minecraft, and I didn't finish my diploma, but I got good at modding.
By diploma, he means his doctorate in astrophysics. You know.
What do you do with that anyway?
Yeah, exactly. It was a career choice. Exactly.
Brad?
Wow. Okay, so
I mean the short version. Like, I know you were born and then...
I was born and then, no. I actually was a professional opera singer. I studied opera for 12 or 13 years, and one day I woke up and I said, yeah, I want to study something more normal. And I went back to university and I got a degree in industrial design. And then Minecraft happened. But we'll get to that later.
I tried to convince her to sing a song to start off the panel, but she wouldn't do it.
Well, I mean, you know, if the panel runs short, maybe we'll fill some time. We'll see.
Sounds good.
I have heard her sing. She is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've not heard her sing, but I plan to.
Maybe if you buy me a mojito later.
Deal. Zelda?
I'll buy you 4.
No.
So, I was in my last year of high school when my friend told me that I should, I was in my first Java programming class, and my friend introduced me to this blocky game called Minecraft. And I was like, that seems interesting. I like Legos. I should try that out. And days of constant playing, like 24/7 later, I realized that I could take the Java I was learning in class and apply it to Minecraft, and I started to add features. First thing I made was a little block with a smiley face on it. But I've come a little bit further since then and spent most of my college career building up Tropicraft, and here I am.
Alrighty, so my programming career, it pretty much started from high school. I was just messing around with stuff. But I got into web development with a friend who started a company and wanted to design websites, and I would just do the back-end stuff. And that turned out okay, but it was really the early times of web development, and it was a pain to support Internet Explorer and all that, and it really turned me off from doing all that. So I remember one day I was just like, I'm just gonna throw open Visual Studio and just start making a game engine and try to make a real-time strategy game. And I had fun with that for like a year and a half, learned a lot of stuff about AI, how to do proper structured programming, a lot of pathfinding fun and all that. And then, around that time, Minecraft had started to get pretty popular, and I was having fun with that, started to go nuts with Redstone structures. I just went full-on crazy with that. And finally, I started to see that there were mods happening with the game. And I tried to look into how that was all being done, and I was just seeing that they were just looking at this raw, up encrypted code, and I just thought, that's crazy. Who would want to do that? This is a waste of time. And then a week later, I was doing it myself, of course. So that's just how it happened. And thankfully, at that point, there was MCP as a bit of a reference, but you couldn't really use it yet. So you helped. You helped a lot. And
You're welcome.
Yeah. That was 2010, 6 years ago, and
I'm old.
on and off. No, you're not. You're young. But yeah, it's been 6 years, and I've just been doing it since then, on and off.
Like Kojo, I was also in my last year of high school, and I decided I was actually a science stream student, so I was studying all the the science subjects and all. And then one day, a friend and I were talking about Minecraft. We were playing Minecraft, and we got introduced to mods, and I got interested in it one day, and I actually started trying out MCP. At that point, MCP was available, so it's a lot easier, about 5.5 years ago. It was a lot easier, but I actually kind of made the mistake of not having any programming experience prior to that. Don't do that. And I actually coded in Notepad++. Don't do that. But yeah, that's pretty much what I was doing about 5.5 years ago. My memory is bad. I don't even remember what happened yesterday, so it's impressive I can remember what I was doing before Minecraft.
So with that in mind, now that Minecraft has influenced you, what are you doing now? What's your current job, or what job did you have recently that was a direct result of something that Minecraft influenced?
Well, so after working for 5 years on Minecraft, last November I got recruited by Mojang. So I'm working on Minecraft.
There you go. That's a pretty good story.
It's not exactly the same as doing modding. Actually, it's quite different, but it's interesting so far.
Cool.
I got obsessed, probably would be the word, with making 3D models out of college in industrial design. That's basically all you do, is draw and 3D model and draw and 3D model. And sometimes you get to build the stuff that you're making, but most of the time you just draw and 3D model. So you have to really like it. And I said, I really want to make stuff. So I made things. And then I started to build up a portfolio. You don't really notice. And suddenly I have a portfolio. And I came to MINECON for the first time last year in London. And my very good friend, Sarge, he told us, come with me, and we're going to go to a meetup. And he introduced me to this amazing guy called Bart. And he was telling me that he had this awesome game. And he told me all about it, and I was intrigued. And 6 months later, I talked to him again because I start following this game. And I say, wow, your game is looking amazing. And I start talking to another member of his team called Connor. And he was the main artist for this game. And they said, well, we're looking for another artist, and I really like your work. And I know what you do, but can you still send me the portfolio? And I said, sure. So I send it, and apparently they liked my work, and they asked me to participate, and we're about to launch our first game on Steam. And it's been amazing to be able to go from modding to becoming a game developer. And so now I'm a game developer, an actual game developer, and my game is called Stack Soul. So it's actually, you guys should maybe go check it out. Shameless plug, I'm sorry. It's
okay.
it's
allowed.
at the indie section of games. So you guys can actually go check it out and play it, and let us know what you think, and how we can change and how we can make it better. And I'd really like for you guys to go check it out if you have the time.
All right. So I want to do a quick poll before I go on with my story. How many of you have heard of or used Internet Relay Chat, or IRC? That is actually more people than I was expecting. Very cool. So back when the game was first beginning, the modding community was growing. IRC was pretty popular. There was a network of people growing every day that would talk about the game, how to mod it. They would offer each other help, and it was a really supportive community. That's actually how I met all of them. And through that, through Sarge, he actually introduced me to someone named Alexi, who is one of the co-founders of a company called Teacher Gaming, LLC. They were located in Finland, and I'm from North Carolina in the United States. And at MINECON 2013, I met up with him in person, and he introduced me to the CEO of the company, and I talked to them, asked if they had any opportunities that I could maybe talk to them, work with them, and he said he didn't know of any, but they would get back to me. And a week later, I woke up with an email that asked me if I wanted to spend a summer in Finland interning, working on a product called Minecraft EDU. That was not a hard decision. And so I spent the summer of 2014 all the way across the world. I got to visit so many countries and work on an awesome product that was helping teach kids in classrooms all over the world. It was incredible. And that experience really got me into the startup scene. And so now I'm actually working at a small startup where I live that makes apps, and it's a lot of fun. And if it weren't for that experience, working with people on IRC and meeting people over the summer that year and doing all that, I definitely would not be where I am today.
Okay, so me and Kojo both work on Tropicraft. He brought me over to his channel to help him out work on it, and we just got to be good friends for a good while. And at some point during his career, he wanted to get a job at this one educational place called Youth Digital, but he was really busy with university at the time, so he couldn't quite, commit to that job. So he referred me to them, and I ended up getting a job interview with them. They're a company that wants to teach kids how to program through Minecraft and pretty much any kind of gaming platform to really motivate them. And I had been doing modding for 4 or 5 years at that point, so I had a pretty good understanding of a lot of the code base. I just tried to touch every part of it. And that's just exactly what they needed, so they hired me on to just help them craft this course so that they can really enjoy Minecraft and Java programming while they learn how to actually program. And it's been 2 years now since I've been with them, and it's just been a whole awesome, great journey.
Unfortunately, my stories aren't as exciting or as long as those because, as you guys know, I'm still a med student. I'm only in my 3rd year right now. So I've still got additional 3 more years to go before I graduate and come out as a doctor. But I've done several higher jobs before with, like, say, Venom, and I've actually worked for Beam Interactive. And I actually will be working for Caveman Films as well. And I will be doing some programming for a not yet announced project. But right now, in terms of medicine, I've also managed to start a research project involving Minecraft for medicine. So I've got 2 professors in my college which are interested in using Minecraft in medical research. So that's pretty much what I've got going on right now.
Cool. Very good. So what skills would you say that you developed while modding Minecraft that you use in your current job?
Okay, so when I came from, when I was at the university, I started coding more or less at this point. So I had 4 years of coding knowledge to actually be able to, when I started modifying Minecraft. But one thing I didn't really do was having structure and being able to actually bring a project to its end and making the code to be able to reuse it and this kind of and making like clean code. And what I learned with Minecraft, first of all, is I learned Java because I didn't know Java before starting coding Minecraft. And I also learned how to bring a project from the beginning to its end, and how to structure features and structure the progress of your own work to be able to see it reach an end, which is something which is extremely complicated actually. To be able to, starting a project is easy. Keeping yourself motivated is also easy. Having the, managing to actually bring a project to a state where you can release it and having people use what you produced is extremely complicated. Because you always say, yeah, but I need to add one more thing. I want to polish this a bit more. But if you start doing that, you never publish anything. You can't publish if you always add new stuff you want to do because you think it's not perfect yet. So I think what I learned is more or less maybe humility in this case, because you have at some point to tell yourself it's not perfect, but it's good enough, and I have to push it so I can get like feedback from people and be able to see how people interact with what I produced and actually build on top of that. Because otherwise you get a project which is never released and which is getting more and more features, but you never finish it. So I think it's one of the main skill I learned was actually to be able to take a project from its beginning to its end and build on the feedback I got from there. And Java, because you can't really do anything without Java in the Minecraft universe.
You know, I actually have a story about this. After MINECON of last year, Lex Manos came over to Dublin, and I live in Dublin. I was showing him around, and we were passing by the Facebook headquarters in Dublin. And I was showing him around. He looked inside, and he saw something which caught his attention, and he took a picture of it, and then he posted it on Twitter. What was in there that he took was a poster mounted on a wall. It's a very large poster. We didn't go inside. We were just looking from the outside. It was a very large poster that said, "Better done than perfect."
Yeah, I think that that's a good saying actually, because if it's perfect but never done, it's useless.
Yeah.
Cool.
In my case, I think the thing that I learned while making mods and not making mods, making models, because I can barely code. I have amazing people teaching me, and I have amazing people working with me, is I cannot stress enough teamwork and humility and just being trying to understand other people and trying to, this is also really important. If someone asks you, can you make me this? You have to learn to get inside people's heads as an artist. And that, I think, is the hardest part. As an artist, to be able to, with the little or insane amount of information that a person might give you, make exactly what they wanted. I think that is the main skill that I learned, that and teamwork. Because in development, artists are nothing without your coders, and coders need their artists if you want to have a well-rounded mod or game or project. You need people who know their stuff and who have their expertise, and you need to learn how to be able to work with all these people with different points of view and different personalities. And you need to know when to bite your tongue. And that's really hard for me, at least. It's really, really hard, but I think I've come a long way because I'm really explosive. These guys are some of my best friends in the whole world.
I can confirm.
And I am like, "Rah!" And yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm learning. But yeah, you have to learn to pick your battles. That's
We
what
still
I've
love
learned.
you. Yeah, teamwork is probably one of the biggest things I've learned from this is not just how to work in a team, but how to lead a team. The Tropicraft team at one point had a developer in England, Austria, Canada, West Coast United States, East Coast United States. It was pretty difficult for me as the team leader to not only organize who did what, but also organize when we did it and how to make sure everything worked together. That skill I was not anticipating having to learn, but it kind of just figured it out as I went. But I think something else that I realized as I modded was whenever I would apply for jobs or internships during my time at university, I would always be on the top of the list because the people around me only did what they learned in school, which everybody learns the same thing in school. But I had this experience outside of school of running a project, an open source project, working with a community of people all over the world, and I think that really gave me an advantage, and that was a huge skill that I learned from modding.
I remember that I used to be really shy about sharing my code and how it looked before I got into modding. But I can't remember when exactly, but a year or two into it, it got to a point where I didn't care. I wasn't my code. It's just how good I was at that state in time, and I would just show it off to people to be like, yeah, sure, you want to know how to do this certain thing? I'll just show it to you, whatever, that's no big deal. Before that, I was just very timid about the coding, and just having this huge community like that, it really opened me up in terms of expressing myself through the programming code and all that. And yeah, that was one of the biggest ones I thought about. And Prof nailed the whole getting it out and done is a constant challenge. You could just settle into constantly working on it, but no, you have to set certain goals and ideally a timeline too to actually get this out and done. You just have to cut a little bit off, but just get it out, push it, and then you can just work on it again and while you get all this feedback and continued motivation from all these people who are trying your mod and complaining about all the crashes or stuff like that. But yeah, that's another one that I've learned throughout so many mods that I've done. You just learn that process more and more rather than just this one big project that you're working on. Mods are like little mini games. You get to go through that whole cycle again every time. Yeah, for modding, I also got the opportunity to actually find serious bugs like memory leaks where after the thing's running for hours and hours, it would crash out on you, and you really have to just understand how all the code is working and how you have to just recycle all the use of memory and everything. So I got to learn about doing that through modding as well. So I've learned, there's already a lot of skills there I've learned through it all. And yeah, I gotta say, Raz has really nailed the whole getting inside of a person's head and just knowing what they want, because this avatar, she made it, is perfect. It's exactly who I am. He was holding a tornado too, so it's like a lumberjack that's just crafting a tornado. That's me.
He's Canadian.
Yeah, I think that and teamwork too, yeah. Just knowing where my role should be in the job and just not trying to like do all the work while they're not doing their work or something like that. No, you get your set goals and just communicate what you want to do, what you think they should do. Just that back and forth communication is very key. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much all the lessons I've learned.
Cool.
I have a question for you.
Me?
Yeah, you.
You're not allowed to ask the questions. That's my job.
Are
get
your mods
one.
open source?
What?
Yes, they are.
So they're open source? Yes.
They're exposed source, but you know, people could submit PRs, and actually, yeah, I will take their suggestions in. Yes, so it's open source. Let's go with that.
Okay. All right. Just checking.
Ask him if his are open source.
Big tornado.
Are yours open source?
Most. The ones that are not open source was because those were made around the time where I started modding and I had no idea what open source meant. So in terms of skills, I have to say that the rest of the panel have covered many of the skills that we've learned. But I want to add on as well that I've managed to, like the biggest one for me would be time management, because I feel like sometimes I'm leading two different lives, obviously as a med student and like a programmer online. It's just like, oh, I gotta study for my exams. Oh, I gotta update this mod. I gotta study for the exams. I gotta update this mod, this and that, you know. So
Notice how he never mentioned sleep.
sleep gets in there sometimes. Sometimes. I mean, there are days where I've just been up for 30 over hours just trying to sort things out, and that is just on one half like of whatever I do from day to day. And being able to manage your time, it is crazy important because you need to know what to prioritize, what you should be able to maintain and all. I feel like, actually, I've heard somewhere that people who do not know how to prioritize things just keep complaining that they're busy. But the problem is they've not actually made the time for it and they've not prioritized what should be prioritized. So that's, I feel, is one of the biggest skills that I've learned, and time management is definitely one thing that I hope I'm doing well, but I'm not very sure because people say I don't sleep. I guess it could be true. I mean, occasionally I do sleep, but they always see me awake because I'm like several hours ahead of them, and then they would be talking to me sometimes at like 3 a.m. my time, 5 p.m. my time, whatever time. They never know when I'm awake, never know when I'm asleep. So it's like a hit or miss for them when they're trying to reach me or anything like that. Another thing is, I've definitely learned to be more open in communication because I feel like going through this, I've spoken to so many different people from all around the world. I've got friends from Australia, Austria, well, several countries in Europe. I'm not going to name them all. And then like North America, all these folks here. I've gotten to know a lot of them. I've gotten to improve the way I communicate with them. And I've gotten to hear so many different opinions that I've actually become a lot more open-minded with the way I think about stuff. And like I said, they've already mentioned most of the other skills that I think that we've mostly learned through modding.
I want to add to that. If you want a perfect example of multicultural, inclusive modding, the modding community, a team of modders is like all over the place from all walks of life and all over the world, and it's really amazing. Like, the community is amazing. Same for like the team that I'm working with now for Staxel is, one of them is in South Africa, another one's in Australia, others are in America, I'm in Sweden, another guy's in the Netherlands, like they're all over the place. So I think that's really awesome because you won't get more inclusive or more multicultural than Minecraft.
Even at this panel alone, all the panelists are from different countries.
It's true.
Mm-hmm. Cool. So we're going to open up to audience Q&A in a little bit here, like maybe 1 or 2 questions. So if you have some questions for these guys, can you please start lining up at the microphones? Don't be shy, come on up. And it can be about, maybe one of the mods they've written or, some of the careers that they've gotten into as a result of the mods they've written. So go ahead, start lining up. And while that happens, I'm going to ask 1 or 2 more questions here. So let's say, how did the skills you learned while modding influence you getting your job? So obviously I already talked about, some of the skills that you got from modding and, how you're using them now, but how did it influence you getting the job? Did it help you in the job interview or something along those lines?
Okay, in my case, it's not so much the skill I learned, but more the portfolio I built, actually.
Mm-hmm.
That doing what I was doing, the modding I was doing, and I was able to get myself a list of mods and that I could show to people, actually, when I got in an interview with Mojang. So I had this, that's what really I got out of modding, was a way to show that I knew what I was doing. And I think that's one of the most important thing is that it's extremely hard as a coder to show that you can code properly. You have to have a finished project that you can show, to have prototypes that you can show, to have something concrete that you can show to people. And I think that that's what I got out of being in the community for so long, of starting MCP, well, not starting MCP, but contributing to MCP, to making my mods, which have been slightly successful. And so I could show something which was done from beginning to end, with sometimes original ideas. So I had, through my mod, a portfolio that I could show to people, to show to Mojang that I could actually do what I was going to, what I was interviewing for. I think that that's one of the things I got out of the whole of the last 5 years. It's the capacity to show that I can get the job done, basically.
Cool.
In my case, it's also, I think, the building of the portfolio. If you do something every day, you don't notice, and suddenly you have a perfect portfolio to show off. Save everything. I'm not even joking. Backups, and try and keep it organized, because you never know when you're going to need it and when they're going to tell you on the drop of a hat, like, I need a portfolio, can you send it to me now? Start making your portfolio one thing at a time, and suddenly you will have a full-fledged thing to show off. And the other is networking. It's not a skill. Well, is it? I don't. Okay, it's a skill. But also, it's like you have to really try to get to know people, to meet people in the community, because you never know when the next opportunity will come up and they will think of you and offer you the opportunity and make it something you never expected happen. And like Sarge. So I thank you, Sarge. Thank you.
Yeah, I have to second that actually.
Thank you.
Yay, Sarge.
So it's all a little chain. I hop onto the IRC, and I meet Kojo. Kojo introduces me to Prof, which I then married.
You get stuff out of order.
You get stuff
but
out
yes.
of order, but yeah, eventually I married him.
That's a different panel. How to meet your significant other through Minecraft.
Then he introduced me to Sarge, and Sarge introduced me to Bart, and Bart was the one, and to Bart and Connor and Bart thought of me when they needed a new artist for their game. So it's important, really important.
Yeah, to complement that, it's actually more or less what happened to me too, because I met Sarge when I started MCP, and Sarge started discussing with Graham, and Graham got rejected by Mojang, Sarge got rejected by Mojang, and at the end, I had also the capacity, I could show what I did, but I also knew a way to, I knew people to talk to, so when it's the networking thing is extremely important, to be able to build a small chain of people, because at some point you are going to have one people really far away in the chain who is going to have something to do, and you are the one at the other end of the chain, and people talk until it reaches you. So you need to have those contacts at some point. Well, you don't need them, but it helps a lot to actually be able to, because people know you at some point and remember your name or. Yeah.
So there are so many things I could list out here, but the one I think I want to focus on is kind of Minecraft as a whole. It kind of teaches you to think outside the box and be creative in a way that you can really do anything, and there's no guide to tell you that you should do something. And I think modding is very similar in that there's the ability to learn how to do things. Through modding, I had never really done any programming outside of class, and all we did was really basic stuff. And through modding, I taught myself to think in a way that I could learn things and explore existing things. And that ability to learn is what's led me to joining the startup scene, because in a startup, you really have to be constantly moving, constantly creating new things and thinking outside the box. And I think that's the biggest skill I learned.
Yeah, I would say that just learning how to get something that you want done in the game and just problem solving your way through all the code throughout all the constraints that it have to get what you want. That's a really good skill that I found that was what I needed to both maintain and get the job that I have now. And just going all out, wanting to help out with people who ever have a question with some bit of code that they have. I'm usually pretty lazy about working on some code myself, but if somebody asks something and I'm even just a little bit not sure, I will stop everything and just dig into that code, spend about 15 minutes, and finally reply like, you can just go this, do this, and just get it done like that. And just having that motivation to just solve the challenge like that. It was exactly what they needed to just craft a course to be exactly the skill level required for the students to use with programming. And yeah, I was able to just shape it into exactly what they needed, and that really worked out nicely, I think.
This is very true. He has actually helped me with some code before. I was just discussing with him with something I had problems with, and he literally did just drop everything. And I think about a couple of minutes later, he threw a snippet of code at me, and that helped me out so much. Thank you. All right, so anyways, just jumping back to that, it's just like, make sure it's like your work. I actually do not have a portfolio, so all your work, even though if you finished it.
What are you talking about? You have your website.
What?
You have your website. You have a portfolio.
Guess.
Your portfolio's on Curse.
Yeah, you just have to type your name on Google and it's your portfolio.
Okay.
What are you talking about?
I come from a non-English speaking country. My excuse is English is a second language. I'm not very sure what it means. Never mind the fact that I've been speaking English for 22 years of my life.
A collection of your work.
Okay. Okay, so I do kind of have one, and people have. I have gotten job offers out of that. People see what I do, they know I'm capable of what I'm doing, and they have approached me with job offers, asking me if I can do this for them, etc., etc. And the connections, they do help out as well. I'm pretty sure a bunch of us here, we come for the con, but we stay for the people. We meet so many different people here. We make all the connections, and it's really important that I've got connections with Curse, I've got connections with FTB, all the modders, all the mod pack makers, and that helps just so much.
Not just connections, friendships.
Friendships too. People, that can get your back when you're in trouble.
Cool. All right, so we've got some time. Let's do some questions. We'll start on the right side of the room, because I like your shirt.
Okay, first I wanted to thank you all, because personally I've played with, or you've been touched by something you've done, okay, and it's been great stuff, a lot of fun. The question I guess I have now is about modding and learning. I saw like everybody seems to have some sort of a training bit for how to create mods for Minecraft now. They seem to be sort of designed for children. The thing I'm thinking is it really a great thing for say a kid who's 12 or 10 or 15 even to start off Java programming today? Because in my own industry, I've been porting a lot of Java stuff over to HTML5. It's not a Minecraft thing at all, totally different. But are things going to change over time? Is it going to be sort of a time wasted for younger people today?
Learning Java or Minecraft in general?
No, I would think that Minecraft should be portable to probably other things. There's obviously going to be some specific Minecraft,
I think
things.
learning Java or programming in general is a very valuable skill, especially today. And even if you learn today, you learn Java to learn how to make a mod, that skills you learn to make that mod, you could then use to make other things. You can make like a fancy calculator or something, I don't know. But the skills you learn are not just going to be applicable to Minecraft. So I definitely recommend it, of course, always.
I'll even chime in and say, like, learning programming, it doesn't matter really what language you learn, for the most part. If you learn how to think like a programmer, you can apply that to any programming language. And if you use something that you're passionate about, like Minecraft, to get that start, it's not a bad idea.
Excellent, thank you.
Hi, my son and I, is this on?
Yep.
Okay, my son and I both play Minecraft. He makes models and I'm the coder.
Cool.
You talked about these communities you have, like IRC. Do you still do IRC? Can we join these communities? How do we find these people to work with them?
Yeah. There's the Forge channel, right? There's the Forge channel, the Forge IRC channel.
There are quite a few of them.
Minecraft Forge, it's called, right?
They also started new communities on Discord. Because I don't know, I guess IRC is like really old school. Really old school.
Yep. And there's also the Curse group.
There's the curse communities. You get the curse client, and you can join communities where you can. The modders are everywhere. They're in the curse one. They're in the IRC. They're in the Discord ones. They're like in all of them.
Not to forget
so-
forums as well.
Yeah.
There's forums as well.
Forums, yeah.
Forums. Oh, Minecraft forums?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
they've
where
got a modding
most of us
section
got
as well.
started.
And I think, especially on things like IRC, at least from my experience, there's usually 100 different people that could pop in at any time in the day, and they each have their different opinions on how to do things. And meeting all those different people is a really awesome way to learn as well. So there's definitely still a community, and I definitely recommend it.
If you want to do IRC, it's a bit complicated, but look up Esper, irc.esper.net, and then there are the Minecraft community is kind of hosted on that node. I think it's called a node.
Maybe.
Yeah, I would like to say though, if you're gonna be on this community, so you just gotta keep in mind that not everyone will be nice to you.
They should be. They should
It's
be.
mostly supportive.
Yeah.
Mostly,
Just be aware.
yeah, but
Thank you.
Cool. Next question.
Has command blocks or Redstone influenced your life or your job?
Oh, man.
Wow, command blocks to me are magic. I understand nothing about how they work, and then suddenly these amazing things are created, and then you look underground and there's like 200 command blocks, and I'm like not even touching that. But I've seen some amazing things. At least to me, I'm totally mesmerized by what the people who use command blocks can do. Because I cannot comprehend how they do the things that they do. But that's my opinion.
I would say that the redstone contraptions that you could do with mine carts and just having like one trigger other stuff, that was the last big thing that I did with Minecraft, like playing it, and then that just like sparked my motivation to get into modding Minecraft more. Command blocks weren't around then, but I do play around with them a little bit. But it was the redstone, just being able to use logic gates and all that stuff in the game and just sort of program it a little bit. It was a great inspiration to actually get into all the programming stuff.
And I think we all have that moment where we were playing Minecraft and there was something that just kind of like sparked, and we were like, oh man, I love this game, and you feel it throughout your body. And seeing like videos of people creating these worlds with all these, they build computers inside Minecraft and they add all these different kinds of contraptions that do insane amounts of things that you don't even think are possible. Just seeing that inspires me to be creative and flows the creative process.
Cool. Thank you. Next question.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a question for our non-sleeping medical student there. But if you could expound a little bit on your research ideas on the application of Minecraft with medicine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, tell me why my screen turns red.
Your eyes are bleeding.
we are actually hoping to investigate. I actually can't tell too much about this just yet, but we're actually hoping to kind of investigate how infectious diseases might spread. And we're hoping to maybe make a new infectious model which we use to see how, to investigate how infectious diseases are spread. I really can't say too much about this. I'm sorry, but I can say I am working on a project with the professors.
So are you aware of any medical research that's been published with the use of anything in, Minecraft related?
I know there are medical research involving other games, but not specifically Minecraft.
Okay, thank you.
Cool, thanks.
So when you guys talk about your portfolios, I think I have a general confirmation, but I want to make sure. Formal education is outweighed by your portfolio, would you say, for the most part? Because you all clearly come from very diverse backgrounds, and here you are with, hey, here's my stuff, and it helps you out when you want to get into the community as an employment opportunity. And so then my question would be, when you put up your portfolios, do you put up your most successful stuff, or do you kind of do an if-then, I ran into this challenge and this is how I solved it, for the people to look at and see how your thought process works and stuff like that. And then I have one more question if you have time. You work globally, and obviously you all work through networking online and whatnot, but do you ever get together, and if so, which one's easier, and how would you fix some of the challenges that you may come into when you do that? Was that too much? You can just answer the first question, that's fine.
Well, I haven't really formatted my portfolio other than having my own website that I host that has a collection of all my mods, and it just shows off all the work. And it also links to my GitHub, which has all my mods open source. So if the person who wants to recruit me really knows a lot of stuff about programming, he could look at my code and see if I'm absolute garbage at it or not. So there's that. And I do generally trim off old mods that I might not be fully proud of. So I try to usually focus on the ones that I'm really proud of, have highlighted, and just I feel like they're good quality.
From my side of things, the last few jobs that I've gotten, I haven't even had to show my resume. Even though I do have a college degree in computer science, I haven't had to show it because of my experience modding. I can just tell them my story and they're already intrigued. And so that's pretty cool. And the other side of things is working online with all of them is awesome. These are all great people and they're great at responding. But there was one weekend where he came down to visit and we knocked out a whole mod update in a weekend, and that was pretty intense.
That was a great time.
Yeah, for the portfolio, when I give my list of things I did, I actually put on top the most successful one, and I trim down the one I don't judge worthy of being mentioned. So, and I usually put my formal education really at the bottom, because it doesn't really matter anymore since I have something more recent to put forward. And for the whole working together and meeting, well, we are here. That's one of the points of MINECON. Mm-hmm. It's the only time, well, mostly the only time in the year where you have a chance to meet with the people you actually speak to all year long, and you have 2 days to actually meet up. And so most of the time it's not work related, but modding related, but you have those small time where you start talking about what you are working on with other people, and you have a direct exchange with those people, and those moments are actually extremely productive. So you spend the year talking with people, planning together, and you have those really like spike of creativity during event like this, where you actually have direct exchange.
And for me, it's a bit different because it's very, very visual. My portfolio is visual, so I have to choose which models I think are the most appealing and will show off my talent immediately. Mm-hmm. I cannot put 1,000 models because no one's going to go through 1,000 pictures. So I have to pick and choose the ones that I think will show off my ability to do X or Y things. For your question about your formal education, again, I always try and tell them, do you want my CV and my portfolio? Because I don't have them together. It's like portfolio is visual and the CV is the explanation of my education. And no, your portfolio is all I really need to see. I guess right now a lot of companies are really interested in seeing, can this person pull it off? Yeah, I'm reading on paper, oh yeah, and I was like honor student or blah, 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 but they're not as interested they're much more interested in seeing, can this person pull off what I need them to pull off? So is going to college or is going to school important? Yes, because it gives you the basic tools. But after that, can they do it? Do they have the tenacity to pull off what I want them to pull off? That's what they're interested in seeing.
Thank you.
Cool, thank you.
I'm a homeschooling parent of a 12-year-old who started with consoles and then moved into this past year with PC. And he's just gone totally into Redstone and programming, and he's a gifted child. So he's, that's part of why I homeschool him, is to make sure I cater his education to him. And he has made it very adamant that he used to want to be an astronaut or deep sea oceanographer. Not anymore. It's something to do with Minecraft. He doesn't really care what, he just wants to get involved. And every day there's more and more. There's the block by block, there's the medical aspect, there's all these different aspects of the diversity of what you can do with Minecraft. So he's 12, and I'm looking to guide him to the skill set. You guys have covered a lot of, in general, good skills to have, but besides programming, specific skills that would work for emerging markets, because he's 12, so he's not quite ready to be jumping in on the modding. By the time he's ready to be a YouTuber, is YouTube even going to be the format? Are we going to move forward past YouTube? What are we going to do next? And so, do you guys have any ideas of where you see the market going, and where you would direct somebody who, like you all have said it very clearly, I was this and I was that and I was that, and that's not what I am now. I kind of want to circumvent that. I kind of want to give him the focus and drive to go towards where he's headed. So do you have any ideas of what skills and what markets, like you're talking about the medical, he's not going to be into that, but that's a venue that's opening up. Any venues that are opening up, you're talking about the education market, things like that. You're talking about indie games. Any more ideas like that for markets that would be opening up and specific skills relevant to those new markets?
One of the problems with what you are saying is actually we didn't know when we began.
Yeah.
But it's impossible to say right now where it's going to be in 5-10 years, because we started it as a passion. It's all of us started it not with a goal in mind, but we started it because we liked it, and it was a pastime to go to do things that we don't do at work or in other occupation. So we started to do that as a passion, and it ended up bringing us to other to things we didn't imagine first. So 3D modeling, game developer. When she was industrial designer, I was an astrophysicist, and it completely changed. But we couldn't have predicted 5 years prior that it was going to be that. Nobody could predict that YouTube would explode like it did. The Minecraft
nobody
YouTube.
Knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, so nobody.
It just came out of nowhere.
Yeah, it came out
and
of.
it's changing the world. It's changing the way the entire world thinks.
It's an anomaly.
Yeah, it's an anomaly. Exactly.
But you definitely feel that if a child is interested in moving forward towards Minecraft as a career goal, all they need to do is keep exploring their passions in it, and then and networking and getting involved, all these skills that you're talking about, and there will be something. Something will open up somewhere down the road.
It might not even end up being Minecraft. It might be the next Minecraft, the next anomaly, but there's no way to know. Yeah. Minecraft is a game about everything and nothing. How do you play it? The intro video at the inauguration video, like punch trees.
Yep.
What is the game about?
If he has an interest in programming, though, I don't think these computer things are going away anytime soon, so that probably won't hurt. They're probably going to be around for a bit, so,
I mean,
programming
he's
might be a good
definitely
skill
gonna
for him to
stick
develop a
with
little
that.
bit.
Yeah, he's
I mean,
already,
a
he's
good
already
mod that I
hopping.
would recommend for that would be Computer Craft, because he can use programming to play the game.
Computer craft.
Yep. It lets you write code in the game, and you have computers and robots that can move
Awesome.
around in game
Yeah.
based on the code that you wrote.
Thank you.
So that might
That's
be a
tip.
good one.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking
to
for,
check out.
you know,
It's a neat way to
these
use
educational
the
venues.
the game to learn programming.
I
But
think
I think we're right about the wrapping up point.
Thank you.
follow passion.
Passion.
Passion is good.
Yeah.
So
I
unfortunately,
agree.
we don't have time for any more questions, but we will be meeting people outside here. So when the panel wraps up, we'll meet people outside, and you can talk to all of us out there. Cool. So sorry we didn't get to everybody's question, but thank you everyone for coming to the panel. I really do hope you guys enjoyed it.
And
Thank you to all the panelists for hanging out.
Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being our
Thank you for
super
being here.
awesome
Cool.
person.
And we'll be outside, so take it easy.
And I want to I want to take a selfie from the stage real quick. If anyone wants to like group to the middle to be in a giant picture of a bunch of people, we can do that.